Hello everyone, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm. Okay, so I decided it's time for people that may be new to my channel, and I got a couple people that are, for you to see my Nooks. Now, this is going to be a 8-month review of my Nook Glowlight 4, but I also want to show you my Nook Glowlight 4 Plus. This was the last e-reader that I purchased when I left Five Guys last year. I am approaching my 1-year anniversary working for Burger King, and I will say I love living near my job where I don't have to take a Lyft, I don't take an Uber, none of that stuff. If I want to go to the grocery store and pick up a gallon of milk before my shift starts, I can go ahead and do that. There is so many benefits of where I work at. So, yes, so thank you, Burger King, for hiring me. I do appreciate it. So, for people that are new to my channel, I'm going to tell you a little story. So, I've said the story several times, and so I'm going to repeat it probably every time. Well, not every time, but anytime I notice I have new subscribers, I'll probably end up repeating the story. So, years ago, we as a family, me, my mother, and my brother, we decided that we were going to move down to Kentucky. And the thing about it was that we threw away a lot of stuff. I'm not going to say the reason because, you know. And so that included all my books. Every book that I owned was thrown out for a particular reason. So this was like when YouTube was like not as it is now. So so my mother was like, you know, I'm going to buy you an e-reader if the price is not expensive. Because I was talking about, hey, you know, remember a couple of years ago when the rabbi was talking about the Nook, because the Kindle. The Kindle had just come out. The Kindle was basically like people were buying Kindles and they were spending money on e-books and things like that. I said, well, how about I get an e-reader so I can read books? And she's like, okay, just as long as it's not like $500, okay. So I called Kmart because, because I called Kmart up because I wanted to find out if they sold e-readers, because I really didn't feel like hopping on a bus and going out to Barnes & Noble to get a Nook or, you know. I think, what I think is, I'm not exactly sure, so please bear with me, but I don't know if they were selling Kindles on Amazon or not, because at the time that we were leaving, I didn't have an Amazon account. I didn't. We didn't buy stuff from Amazon. Amazon was just this like book thing. So we really didn't buy stuff off of Amazon. I didn't purchase books off of Amazon. I just went to Barnes & Noble and bought my physical books. So I called Kmart up. I know, I'm old. I am showing my age. And I just said, hey, look, I'm interested in getting a Kindle. What department would that be? And the guy, either a man or woman, I don't remember what if it was a man or a woman, said, well, that would be electronics. I'm going to transfer it to electronics. So after some music playing that I don't remember what the music was, yeah, it's been that long, I got on with a woman, and she told me, well, ma'am, we sell Kindles and we sell Nooks. Kindles are completely sold out, but we have several Nooks available. Sorry. And I said, well, how much are they? And she said, well, I think I spent maybe like $115 for my Nook. I'm not exactly sure. And but I do know they were under 200. I definitely know they were under 200. And so she told me how much they were, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to come by and pick one up. And then I hung up and I said, hey mom, they're this much money. And she said, well, okay, but she said, I don't want my card attached to your reader, so you're going to have to get a gift card. So she gave me some money to buy a gift card, and I left, went on the bus, went over to Kmart, and there it was. Simple black Nook. And so there was gift cards there, and you know, so this is all based on like my memory because it's been a long time. And so I got it home and I pulled it out, and the moment that I pulled out this reader, my mother was on it. She literally was like, woo, woo, wow, this is really cool. Because we had heard about them, but to actually have one in the apartment when we are dirt poor was something that was amazing. We never thought we would have one of these devices. I never thought I would own one of these devices. And then what happened was I turned it on, I activated it, I did all the stuff they had to do, and then I added my gift card to my account. And so I got back then they were like dirt cheap. So I noticed there was a couple books that were free. And I said, hey mom, there's some books here that are free. She said, get those free books. So I ended up with I think 4 free books. And I think one I spent maybe $2 or $3 for, and I don't remember. But those books, those 5 books, went with me everywhere. And my mother would give me a little bit of an allowance, and I would, because I didn't have a job, and I would get a couple of ebooks. However, unfortunately for us, we ended up selling the Nook because we didn't have money for food, and but I didn't get that much for it. I did not. Because it's a Nook, it wasn't a Kindle. So fast forward, I have had a Kindle thing on my computer, and I read books that way. That's for people that are dirt poor and all they have is a computer. I don't think you can even do those anymore. But I enjoyed the Nook, and last year, I had, actually to the back, it was the year before last. It was December of 2024, and I purchased a Lenovo book tablet, which I am not getting the new one. It's been out for several months now. Not doing that. But then I decided to get a actual e-reader, and this is the one I picked up. This is the Nook Glowlight 4 Plus. This was not cheap. This was not cheap. I did get a discount because I'm a Barnes & Noble member. Love being a Barnes & Noble member. But if you look at with the Kindle, it's bigger. It's also a bigger screen than my Kobo Libra Color. But what does this do? This reads books, and it has the thing. The only difference is this right here. This is a software sensor, software based and not button based. So so I've had this for over a year. I love it. I don't use it as much as I want to, but I enjoy it. You can listen to audiobooks on here, and it's an amazing device, and I keep it. I do have a one that closes, but I like this one better. I have the clear case in the back. It's so cute. It is. It is adorable. I'm going to redo the stickers tomorrow. But yeah. So then what happened was, so this is the last e-reader I bought, I actually went into Barnes & Noble. I still have the box for it. I went into Barnes & Noble. I actually went into the store, and this is my first actual Nook that I've had in over 10 years. So, yeah. But yeah, I know a lot of people, they just see Kindle unboxings and all that type of stuff and everything, but yeah. And I use this to read my very raunchy comic book, manga. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm actually going to delete them off of it. So I'm actually alright, so since I've got this out, I'm going to show you the difference between the Nook and the Kindle. For people that are wondering if they should purchase a non-Kindle e-reader. So one of the things that I agree with on a lot of people is, why the heck is the power button down here? Right here. Why is it right here? On the Kobo, they're in the back. I do know some of the earlier models, they were down below. But this one, the power button's on the side. So I'm going to do this. So, hold on a second. Alright. I gotta let it, at first I thought I was doing it wrong when I did this. But, no, I wasn't. So now it's turning on. So unlike Kindles, which I will say are a nightmare to register. Let's see, hold a second here. My Nook is down to a single bar. So yeah, I'm gonna maneuver my computer over here. Okay. All right. So here you go. There's that. See here. I'm gonna. Okay, so I'm going to do list. I gotta archive. Alright, okay, good. Alright. So it went back to normal. So there we go. It took some time for it to do that. So this is not in color. This is black and white. And the huge difference between the Kindle and the Nook is, first of all, you're not bound to like the Amazon ecosystem. That's a big one, just like all the others. I will be the first to say that this is not exactly light. Now, there's people that love their Nook Glowlight 4 Pluses. I do. That's hence why it's still in my possession. But in all honesty, This is a pretty heavy device if I'm holding it like this. Um, so yeah, so now some people can be like, oh my god, you know, the Nook's gonna go off. Nope, as I said, the power button is right here. It's not down here. I'm just holding like this. So these are all the books that I've got. Yeah, these are all the books that I got. These basically are showing both downloaded and non-download. I got 108 books here, which is another reason that I'm not purchasing any more books. And then you have the button. You can press it. And it works out really well. So we go and press down on this, and you have your library right here. Then you can hit that. And let's see here. Free reading weekend. Nothing that I'm really interested in. Then you have, just like with Amazon, you have these books. Now, some of these books will tell you how much they are. Some of them won't. But this is like being on the website. Then they have like coming soon, so you can press that. And it will tell you, I'm going to take this off because this is really annoying. Okay. See here. Oh, I'm at 33%, so it'll last. Yeah. Coming soon, we'll browse all. And then you have all that. You have like just, it's just so much nicer. I will say that it's just easier to just like just go through it. And then of course we have coming soon for kids, if you're into, you know, you want it your kids. Then you have the Wild Zone Camp Half-Blood number 1. This is $10.99. Yeah, it's just another Rick Riordan cash grab. That's all it is. I'm not really interested in it. Now, the huge difference between my Nook Glowlight 4 and my Nook Glowlight 4 Plus is that it will show me, it'll show me basically, so this device here shows not just the ebooks but also the audiobooks, and I actually have several audiobooks, not a bunch but a couple. And unlike Amazon, it will only show you books that are based on what you have read. So let's see here. I'm just here typing. See here. Clear. See here. Free books. I can do that. Let's see here. And then, of course, you have your free books. If you're into like romance and stuff, they're going to have that. A lot of that. And you can just like basically just like you can just click through Oh, here's one. So I'll show you how you do this. So this is a free book. Let's see first of all what this book is about. Okay, so this came out in 2011, and I like this. So what you do is you press that button, and it tells basically confirm. Then it's going to download. Voila, there it is. That's how you get books on the Nook. They got some. I swear. It is so weird. I mean, so weird. Like, some of these books are like, what the heck? What the heck were they thinking when they did these books? I don't know. Here's a Twilight Fantasy. I can pronounce it, by Maggie Shane. Maggie Shane is a New York Times best-selling author. I'm really not interested in getting any book from her. No, I am not saying this because I'm against her. No, I'm not. I'm just like, no. Ooh, here's one. The Cornish Wedding Murder. So, we'll do that one. Because okay, it's a cozy mystery. So, yep. Once again, you press the button. It gets confirmed. I am, oh man. So yes, great way to fill up your Nook. Let's see here. But yeah, it's, you gotta really look through these. But there's like so many books. Most of them are from authors that are well established. Others are just like, no. So since I'm, yeah. And there you go. It appears on there. So yes, so while the Nook does not have the same kind of reach that the Kindle and of course the Kobo have. It's still a really great device. You still get the best-selling authors. And here's the thing is, Barnes & Noble has more books in their library, it seems, than Kobo does. And I know some people are like, well, my favorite authors aren't on Nook. And that is because of Amazon's, like, a lot of these authors will put their books on Kindle Unlimited, meaning they're shut out of this particular market. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the charger. Oh yes, something else, before I put it on the charger. So if I go into my account, okay, this will tell you, like, you've been reading for 2 days, listening for 0. What this basically does is that it's basically Barnes & Noble puts this on here on their devices to encourage you to pick up the book every day. So next year I'm definitely going to be doing that. So yeah. So the Nook is a good device. I'm not going to ever shame the Nook. The Nook is a great device. This particular Nook is waterproof. So I can take it out to the beach, or I can read in my bathtub, and I don't got to worry about the device messing up. Now, even though I have the Nook Glowlight 4 Plus, and it is a great device if you're going to read manga. Because anyways, manga is traditionally in black and white anyway, so that's not really, an issue. But 8 months ago, I was on, a little more than 8 months ago, I noticed that Barnes & Noble was bringing out the Nook Glowlight 4, which they already had, but it was an ocean teal. And of course, I knew people who love the Nook. I mean, they're like, they will scream every time a new Nook comes out. I knew they were going to snap these up, and I was like, I want to snap my own up. I had a really great paycheck that was coming in. I was like, might as well do it. And I went ahead and did it. And unfortunately, for what happened was the money got returned back, and it looked as though I had not paid for it, which I will never do that ever again. And so after about a month or so, I went for it again, and this is my Nook Glowlight 4 in the ocean teal. Now, unlike the 4 Plus, you cannot play audiobooks on here. This is just to read ebooks. And it is light. It's actually a lot lighter than any of the Kindles that I own. This is a little bit heavier than the Kindles I own, but I can prop both that and this up on my stomach, and it will not turn off, it will not restart, none of that. So I have had this device for 8 months now, and I am going to say that this device definitely is different than the Kindle. First and foremost, this is not waterproof. So like the Basic, this is not waterproof. If you do not keep it away from water, it will be destroyed, point blank. There is no case that can prevent this from being destroyed if it does come in contact with water. Now, I'm not going to turn this on, because basically what I showed you guys in here is on this one. But it does have the page turn buttons. Unlike the 4 Plus, this is an actual physical button, and the power button is right here in the same color. Now, we hear people who have Kindles complain, which is one of the huge things they like about the Kobo. The Kobo power buttons in the back. This one is This one is on the front. That one's on the side. My kobolds are in the back. Can I please ask this question, or is it something I have no right to know or right to understand? Why is it that Barnes and Noble has their power buttons on the top or on the side? Kobolds have their power buttons in the back. Why is Amazon still? Maybe that's because that's the one position that nobody's adopted. I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. Do not ever have this device out in the cold. Because I will tell you, not only is it not waterproof, it is not protected against the cold. And I have used my 4 Plus out there in the cold weather, and nothing has happened to it. I mean, it still works. It still changes pages. But the moment this thing, even the face, even sees snow, it just freezes up. Why? Why am I spending money on a device that freezes up in the cold weather? I don't understand. Now, I don't know idea what this winter is going to be like, because I've been hearing it's going to be different than the previous winter. But something tells me the next year's summer is going to be mild. I know some people are going to be happy about that, but I'll be kind of concerned. Anyways, I spent $139 for this device. And I will tell you, as much as I love the color, I do, I like my 4 Plus better. Now, right now my wrists are hurting me. So that's why I'm using this. But the 4 Plus is my favorite Nook. It is a Nook that I go to. And right now I'm just charging it up. I have 100 and ow. Oh, that would have hurt. I got myself. I got 110 books on here. And yeah, I'm going to read all 110 books. Now, I'm going to go on to settings here. So I'm up to 35. Okay, so we have the night mode. It's off. So let's press that. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to, because I am busy reading the Chaos in the Lazy Bones library. So that's what the cover looks like. Alright. Let's see here. Maybe I'm on chapter 5. Alright, there we go. So apparently I'm on chapter 5. But look at that. And just like the Kindle, it will tell you like how many minutes you have left. But yeah, So the screen is definitely bigger and all that. But yeah, so I don't think this has a manual black light. I'm not exactly sure. Um, but if I look at my manual black light here, okay, that's what it does. Makes it look like that. So I'm guessing, yeah, it doesn't have dark mode on it. It does not have dark mode on it. I'm guessing, no, take it back. Dark mode is not clearly just Amazon. Kobo has dark mode as well. But but if you do set your like that, you're probably going to save some battery life. Um, sorry. The battery life on here is not really that good. However, I will say that that when you have it completely off, it does drain extremely, extremely, extremely slow. So, like, I had not opened this, I had not turned this on in like 2 months, and my battery was still at like 97%, which was great because it was at 97%, and it was still at 97%. Um, so if you're looking for an alternative to Amazon that doesn't have a subscription to it, and I'm not talking about Barnes and Noble's, thing that they have. Then I really think the Nook is a great way to go because every Friday they have free reading weekend, and you can basically like check out these deals plus if you go on their store on the Nook, or if you go on their store on their website, they're going to have like books $2.99 and under. They're going to have $1.99 books. Basically, they're trying to get ebooks into as many devices as they possibly can. Plus, you can read on your phone. There is a Barnes and Noble. There is a Nook reading app. You can read your books, on your phone. So just like with Kindle and with Kobo, you do have that option. But I will say I've had that device for a year. I've had this device for 8 months, and I will tell you, if I didn't have a Kobo, I would just be, if I didn't have a Kobo and a Kindle, I'd be happy with Barnes and Noble. Now, some people don't like Barnes and Noble because they're just as bad as Amazon as far as like taking the indie bookstores. But let's be clear. Let's be very clear. A lot of people, let me rephrase that. There are people out there that don't have the finances to go to an independent bookstore. And to me, independent bookstores are for people that have a large amount of money. Indie bookstores are for those kinds of people. I am on an extremely fixed income, and if I can get a book from Barnes & Noble for $1.99 and have it delivered to my device, I will do it every single time. Now, I think my Nook Glowlight 4 Plus has only 16. Let's see here. Okay, it's 32. Never mind. 32. Okay, so it says here that I can do 10,000 plus ebooks or 60 audiobooks, which is definitely why why I don't use it for audiobooks that much. But the idea of 10,000 plus books, 32 gigabytes or 2 megabytes or whatever of storage is absolutely amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. But as I said, I do have a sleep case for the for it and everything. So, anyways, I'm going to end it here. Take back. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to say this. I am very satisfied with all the e-readers that I have. I love all of them. But I will say, out of all of the e-readers that I have, of all of them, the one device that is above all of them, my Nook Glowlight 4 Plus. It's not fancy. You can't write on it. It's not in color. They've got deals on books. I will never run out of books that I possibly could want to read. It is pure magic. I love it. I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about, oh, this author I want to read that's on Kindle. Okay, let me see if it's on Nook. And if it's a author that is not bound to Kindle Unlimited, it's on here. Now, Freida McFadden is not on there. Now, you can buy her books from the website. That's not a problem. But I don't want Freida McFadden. I don't want this author, this author, this author. I want Stephen King. I want the guy that does the Witcher series. I want my cozy mysteries. I want my fantasy, my high fantasy. I want all that. That's what I want. I bought this Nook over a year ago, my baby here, just to read my high fantasy and my thrillers and my mysteries and my horror. I honestly love the fact it has page turn buttons, and it just does everything. And in all honesty, if I could choose, I would bring my Nook to church. Not my Kobo, not my Kindle, but my Nook. Anyways, boy, this is a long video. Anyways, yeah, so if you are interested in something that's really super lightweight, definitely get the Nook Glowlight 4. This definitely does, in fact, is better than the Kindle Basic. They're both, like I said, they're both not waterproof, but you don't have the power button down below. But if you want a e-reader, if you really don't want to buy a Kobo, but you want to support your local big box bookstore because you don't have the finances or the car to get to an indie bookstore, I definitely would recommend this. Anyways, that's it. That's my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.